You know, the experience of oneness is one that is so hard to explain. It's not like, I've heard many stories, and since it happened, I've been looking up all kinds of everything I could study about spirit and everything I could study about soul to put it into better words, because I don't need to learn. I need to figure out how to say it, because the words that I'm basically learning, what we would call it, is basically memorizing or using as tools to convey a message. The words. Think about the word Lord being L, like it's the literary part which you say out loud. It's the lingualness of it. And think of the word, which starts with a W. Same thing as Lord, but it's with a W. The power of the word, power of the Lord. L is lingual. W is written. A W. R-I-T-E. R-I-T-E is right, righteous. W-R-I-T-E. It was written. Word, Lord, language, lingual, L. I don't know, live, life. Some interesting things there. But anyway, that's not even what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is, there's some deep stuff for everyone to really realize and figure out here. And I am the one to bring the message. I guess it's one of those things that it's weird to be a person. If I heard somebody else saying the same thing before, I would have thought that was weird. Now I would have been like, well, yeah, because I unlocked it. And that sounds even more weird, but it's true. Like, I I unleashed it throughout history, so it could have happened. It could happen anywhere. What's weird is because it's me, it's you, it's all of us. But I've experienced that. So when I study some of these things and I see stuff about like near-death experiences and people see their past lives, or children being born remembering their last past life or something like that, it makes a lot of sense to me. But the thing is that they're closely attached to who they last were, because they're becoming more conscious. The world is becoming more conscious. So the children are going to have more of that. The indigo children, the star children, whatever they call them now. They call them whatever. And those words are fine. And I don't mean to say it with a certain tone of voice, because I'm not putting it down. There's more to it than all those things. So anyway, the experience, okay, people would think it's just hard to believe that a person could experience a past life. And I've experienced the past life of Tesla. I've experienced the past life of Jesus. I've experienced many past lives of mystics. But that was when I was in the spiritual, divine astral realm. And I know it sounds wild to other people, but some people have been studying these things and know what I'm talking about, and probably know more words and all that kind of stuff. But even those beings, those things, those whatevers, those are all there, but those are all because we made them. Words are the same thing in the spiritual world as law, L, Lord, is in the physical world. And it's the same both ways, but one is physical and one is in the air. One is said, one is not seen. It was written, but it's also said, spoken, the spoken word. So anyway, those experiences of those lives were because I was studying those people, and because I was them and they're gone and they had no reason not to show me their life experience, I got that update. So it's not like, I know their memories of their life and then some, because they have died and they've remembered their life that they didn't remember. Like, it's all one moment in time. It's so wild. It's so hard to put into a perspective that other people could understand it until they experience it. And that's why one of my main goals is that. That's all I really want, is for people to experience this for themselves so they can see who and what we are. Like, the only difference between you and me is what you've been told since you were a baby. That's it. And everything that you've learned or looked at or experienced, and how you took it, compared to how all the other things that you took in, which caused you to change the way you analyze things the tiniest bit. Some things really tiny, some things minuscule, and some things very big. Like, you break up, you think about the next person you date a little seriously. You hear a noise in the background, you look over and you see something move, I mean, that changes the way you're analyzing things, but very slightly. So, I mean, there's different magnitudes to all these different actions that we do, but the same thing has happened on every molecular level from the beginning of what we call time. But it's only because we had to live out the ideas that we had in spirit. But the only way we could do it in physical form is to do it throughout time so that we could evolve into physical form. So we're evolving into physical forms that we've already done. We've gone into our own future and came back and created ourselves and done all kinds of amazing things. And we're trying to tell ourselves how we did it. And the reason that we haven't figured it out as human beings yet is because when we do, we upgrade and we become the aliens that we talk about. We become the beings that we think that made us, because we are going to make us in the future and then come back and do it in the past. But none of it is real, because it's all from a spiritual point of view. It's unnecessary to have to make it physical, and there's enough space on this planet to appear and make it happen in a place where some people keep secrets, some people have amazing secrets, and some people can't keep secrets and try to tell their stories, and people don't listen. And that's the amazing, beautiful, wonderful thing about having free will and having freedom of choice and all the great things that we have, because you can believe the real stuff, or you can put truth and totally confide in shit. That's all. It's all up to you. It's all a personal preference. I mean, I would prefer people understood the truth, but if they don't, then who am I to say it's wrong? I'm God in human form. I am spirit manifest into another human being, just as everyone else is, as God in human form. It's the most amazing, magical, yet difficult to explain and share, because most people are too caught up in some BS that they're stuck in now. Like the coronavirus. Yes, there was a mass attack on a biological level, they say, whatever. You know, there's more to it. There's many different outcomes, and there's many different things going on at the same time right now. This whole thing was a way to propel other people's ideas while they could slide it in with while they're distracted, we'll do this. While they're doing this, we'll get them going on this. Oh, we don't want this to leave yet because we're feeding on the coronavirus really well. You know, we're feeding on this and we're, making some money off it. Maybe that's not, the main objective, but that's happening on some perspectives, on some levels. So, like, I don't know. The future and the past and the present time are so amazing, because the present time, each one of us knows it individually. The plants, the insects, the animals, everyone that's alive, we know what's going on at the present moment individually. Whether we're conscious of how much we're conscious of or not, that's a different story. But we're experiencing it right now. The past is how much each of us remembers and how much the others remember about ourselves and all the other things in the world. The future is what we expect deep down in our hearts and what we go ahead and do. Of course, we don't have to expect what we're going to go ahead and do, because we're going ahead and doing it. We're past expecting it. We're doing it. So what you deep down truly believe in your heart to happen, happens. And somehow, some way, there's a way to bypass that experience and get out of that not knowing your manifestation game. And there's also rules there's laws in the physical world that until you create your own way to use those laws within the spiritual rule or spiritual law of our world, you can do anything, but you have to do it within those boundaries. There are boundaries. You are infinite. You just have to figure out a way how to make that work in a physical way, or believe it so deep down in your heart and soul it just happens. But see, I haven't physically been able to do that. I've seen myself do it, but I don't remember how. The weirdest things are because some things haven't been shown to me, because no one in a personal human form has done it. So I can't see it until they do it, or until it has been done, or until it's a past thing that's in memory out there in the Akashic records. And I haven't dove in to try to look into the past to find out mysteries, because I think the world is magnificent, and whatever we've all done up to now is actually sort of pointless to dig into. What we do about it and what we do with what we have is what really matters. That's what we should dig into, and that's all we should do. And from now on, that's all I'll do. I'm not going to keep digging in the past about stuff. I mean, I'm going to bring things up for examples, use things for things to talk about, but that's it. Because we have to use the things we have to communicate with each other for now until we evolve and develop new ways to do new things. So that's all I'm going to say for now. Until next time, peace and love.